best friend for 23. I heard the heavens crying above me. The gain's an angel, I lost a friend. I felt like dying again and again. I went through hell instead of death, but I keep fighting with each living breath. I saw no way out from where I stood. Felt like the fire had burned me through. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I'm not dying alone. I lost my best friend. Lost my best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. I saw no shadow, I looked around, searched every building and home that I found. I saw no shadow, but felt a glow. The warmth inside me, it kept me afloat. It felt like heaven had found my bones, gave me comfort when I feel alone. Now you're gone, I'm alone. I guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I'm not dying alone. I lost my best friend to 23. She left her body and hovered above me. My best friend to 23. I heard the heavens crying above me. The gain's an angel, I lost a friend. I felt like dying again and again. I went through hell instead of death, but I keep fighting with each living breath. I saw no way out from where I stood. Felt like the fire had burned me through. Now you're gone, I'm alone. guess it's time to get better. Through the pain, I will go alone. If I fall, break my bones, I will scream even louder. 'Cause I'm not dying alone. I lost my best friend.
Alright, perfect. You guys should have audio now. Hopefully the fan noise isn't too loud. Let's go ahead and pull up the chat. Let me know if you guys can hear me out there. Hope everybody's having a great Friday. Today I will just be building a Freedom Spec drone for a race that we're having in I think about 3 weeks here in Arizona. What's up, Infamous? How you doing, brother? How's your Friday going? Wanted to have a little bit of this drone together, some of the simple stuff like the ESC and flight controller and such, just to make it short and simple. But I kind of got behind doing some other things. So pretty much basic Freedom Spec will be running on 3S with the 533 motors. They're 2207s, and I believe they are 1950 kV. So it's going to be some really nice tight racing between everybody. Perfect. Good. Thank you, CFPV. 2207, and they are 1960 kV. 2207. So let's go ahead. We're going to start slapping this bad boy together. Let's go ahead and put some music on. Let me know how your guys' day is going today, what you guys are up to this week or this weekend. Do you guys have anything planned? Any big flying spots you're going to? Let's go ahead and throw some music on. What's up, JFPV? How you doing, brother? Your Source 1 hybrid, nice. Glad you're doing good, CFPV. You got your drone working too, didn't you, brother? Change the arms up. What motors are you running on that, Jay? Motors, get the ESC done. Let me know if the music's too loud. I'll move the microphone a little bit closer. Let's see if we can get that lined up a little bit better. There we go. Okay, we're not going to put the small ones on. I think we are going to go with the bigger ones for this. Let's see how much it needs. It probably doesn't need much actually. We can slam it. I'll put the big ones on for just sake. 2450 kV, nice. So you're running 4S, nice. So it's on some of my freestyle rigs. I run 2450, 2550 on some of my race rigs, and then I got a couple 6S rigs too. Next thing, our good motor, especially for the cost. What frame did you buy off of Amazon? Is just your frame broken for your Whoop? See? So the hardware that I'm using today is going to be the Fox Ear Stat Combo. It's going to be the Reaper 20x20 60 amp for 3 to 6S. as well, paired with their 722 Mini. And then I'm just going to be running TBS across the board for the RX and VTX. Just the Nano RX, and then the TBS Nano version 1.1 for the VTX. And like I said, for the motors, I'm just going to be running the standard 2207, 1960 kV 533 motors for the Spec Series class. What's up, Broccoli? How you doing? It is build time, brother. I'm building a Spec Series drone for a race that we're having coming up here in Arizona in, I think, 2.5 weeks now. So getting that all ready. Just got the 533 motors today. Get slapping them on. Got the batteries for it. So the batteries here. Let me go grab the batteries. They're right over here in the car. Alright, perfect. So like I said, it's going to be a 3S build because it's a spec class for the Freedom Spec Series class. And then batteries are going to be, got 2200 milliamp, 3S, the 30Cs, CNHL. So I think these ended up, I forgot what they cost on the website, but these things should be awesome. Like I said, 2200 milliamp, 30C, CNHL is the one that I went with. Go ahead and start slapping this bad boy together. How you guys doing? Broccoli, Jay, you working on anything today, Broccoli? Start slapping the motors on. Motors are off there. Motor screws up here. Dodge. Everybody's watching Dodge. Everybody's talking about Dodge. Now, are you going to get out here soon, I'm guessing? A lot of people are talking about getting out here shortly. It's starting to get hot out here in Arizona. Ooh-wee. Not looking forward to this summer. It's starting to get hot out here. Perfect. I'm super excited about flying this. I like put a huge motor cap on my drone this weekend. Kind of flew it like Spec Series, which it's not totally like Spec Series because it didn't have the battery or the weight was correct, or the weight was a little bit low. Vacation right now, work 4 a.m. Wake up, calls again. Woo-wee, 4 a.m. That's when I get up too, brother. I'm an early riser though. I like getting up, getting things done, and then moving forward. I used to like to sleep in, and I mean I still do from time to time, especially on the weekends. I try to get up early when I can. Feels good when you got time in the morning and such. Now, is anybody going to any multi-GP racing? Any qualifying? pulled your investment out. I hear you. A lot of people got a lot of money, and a lot of people lost a lot of money too. But that's like everything, every other stock. Yep, 7 a.m. is sleeping in, and it feels weird, especially sleeping in or getting up at 7 a.m. in the morning, because it feels like, you know what I mean, you're sleeping in and it's so late in the day and you can't get anything done. I mean, that's the way I feel. I love waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then, you know what I mean, 9 o'clock rolls around and you already have most of the stuff that you need done in the day, which is nice. Frame I'm building on is the Switchback 533 Pro. As always, I got a fleet of these bad boys. It is a solid race frame, especially if you like to crash like me. It is a solid race frame. Well, not like to crash, but if you are prone to crashing, this is going to be a good solid race frame for you. It's really not that bad too. I think it's $50, and then if you get the BFG frames, I think the BFGs are $10 on top of that. So realistically, you're looking at a $60 race frame. It's a solid race frame. I've only really broken a couple arms. And yeah, that's it. All I've broken was arms so far on it. Crash a lot. Yeah, 5-inch season for us is going to be done here shortly, and we're going to be going really indoor, doing a lot of whoop racing, and so I got to look at getting a whoop. You guys fly whoops? If so, what would you recommend for flying? The Player 1 frame. I do need to build a Player 1 frame too. I've been meaning to do that. I've just got so many other builds. I still have 2 or 3 other builds on the table over there. I got an 8S build that's coming around the corner. I got another 10-inch. I got a 10-inch build coming around the corner. All I'm doing is waiting on the frame for the 10-inch, and then I'll be good to go there. But the 8S drone is sitting over there, and I'm ready to go with that. I'm doing an 8S 2806.5, 1300 kV, 6-inch props, so it should be a ripper. Mob 6. Mob 6 I heard are great. Didn't they make a Mob 6 Lite now too? Have you flown the Mob 6 Lite? Is that what you're flying now currently? Take your time. There we go. Sometimes the motor screws just don't line up. There we go. Should be super, super fun. Excited. I gotta learn now just to slow down more now about controlling the drone. There's going to be a lot less power to weight ratio. So it should be a lot tighter racing. So it should be a really fun time. It's going to even the playing field for a lot of people, where you don't really have different drones, different KV, different props. Everybody runs the same props. So it should be really, really interesting. Fox earboard is super, super solid. Shouldn't have any problem with that. I've been running the 722 Mini for a while now on my race quad, and actually in a couple of my freestyle rigs as well. I do love it. It's super nice, super Okay. Perfect. Let's go ahead and let's just move into the motor wires then. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to run the motor wires underneath. Easier on this build. I always like spending a little extra time on my motor wires to make sure they're nice and clean. Nah, the regular Mob 6. What KV do you fly on the Mob 6? I don't have any race wire. I would have put race wire on this normally, but I do not have any race wire, so this will be using regular electrical tape. I just like race wire. It makes it very convenient, easy to make a change in the field if you need to change a motor out. But like I said, I do not have any race wire, so I'll just be doing the standard electrical tape. Personally, I like the electrical tape approach. I think it's simple, easy. Yeah, if you don't get the electrical tape stuck onto itself. There we go. Go ahead and get some solder flowing on this bad boy. 19 kV, nice, 19,000 kV, my apologies. Get that moved over here. Let's get some solder to start to flow. So for motor wires, normally I do about 330, 340. Since I'm in the wind here, I'll do 340. Right now I'm just gonna go through and lay down some solder on each of the pads. Just get them all nice and clean. Get them all nice and wet with solder. Now, 19,000 kV, I guess you're running a 1S on it, I could imagine, or 2S. Okay. Let's go ahead and get to the motor soldering. Need the snips. Leave that there. 65 millimeters, so I'm going to run on 2S. Nice. Indoor, I imagine you run on 1S, and then outdoor you run on 2S, I imagine. twisted in between two wires. Slipping off my dang tweezers. Put that up. Golly, little bugger. There we go. Now I got it. Now it's mine. Yeah, TS100s are great solderers. Heat up super quick, super portable, which makes it super convenient. Soon it's gonna be too darn hot, not even be able to want to build outside, then I have to build inside. Too darn hot here shortly. Sometimes you always gotta hold it from the weirdest angles to get it. Let's go from there. Camera. Goes. Spin. On to the next one, on to the next one. Yeah, just make sure you get yourself some good solder. TS100 is a great solderer, but regardless of the solder gun that you get, or the solder that you get, it's mainly the solder that you buy. Come on. Alright, stuck underneath there. There we go. You got a project lined up for that CFPV? For your new solder gun? That taped. I'm gonna be done with motor 2 here shortly. What's up, Flying Brian? The box fan is actually right over here blowing the solder smoke away from me, keeping me alive still. So I mean, brother, if you still want it, I'll send it out to you, man. I will send it out to you. But currently it is serving a really, really good purpose. There we go. Let's go ahead. Now we got that one done. Go ahead and move on to this one, knock this out. Hope your day is doing good, Flying Brian. How was your Friday? Thanks for stopping by. Anybody who's just joining us currently right now, I am just soldering the motor wires up on a Freedom Spec build using the Foxeer F77 Mini paired that with their Reaper 60 amp. So plenty of power, and we'll be running 3S 2200 milliamp batteries. So some nice beefy big batteries to pair it with. Should be some nice, really good racing. Keep you alive from the shoulder. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Anybody going to Rampage coming up? Did anybody get the new Pyro bag? I see the new Pyro bag came out. That thing is massive. Anybody ended up getting it? We're almost done with this second motor here. You're going broccoli, nice. I wish I was going this year, but I am not going. Looks super awesome. That 100 gate track looks freaking awesome. Question is, how much actual flying time do you think you'll end up getting there, or getting while you're there? 'Cause I know usually they have some long lines. I wonder this year too, even though COVID and everything happened, I wonder still if the crowd's going to be pretty big for it. 'Cause I know they sold out of tickets, I think. May be completely wrong, but I think they sold out of tickets. Those bad boys are done. Let's move on to the next side. Get these motors done, then we'll move right on to the flight controller. Actually, what we'll do is we'll do the power leads first, actually. Power leads, we'll throw on the caps. Or the cap, not caps. I'm just using a standard 35 volt, 1000 microfarad cap, like I do in most of my builds. If it was a 6S build, probably would put a 50 volt cap on it, but even still a 35 volt cap should still be sufficient enough on a 6S rig, but you do sometimes see larger spikes, especially in crashes with 6S rigs. So your built different CFUV. I'll be careful. A lot of flying done at 2018 Rampage. Now 2018, was it that popular back then, Rampage? Because I know that was kind of when they were just starting out, or not when they were just starting out, but not Rotor Ride, but in general, FPV really wasn't that big, I would say, back in 2018 as it is now. Especially with all the products. I mean, the equipment that's available now compared to 2018 is absolutely crazy. They've made leaps and bounds above equipment that was from 2018. You better not be breathing that smoke, see? Solder smoke is extremely bad. Extremely. Alright, perfect. Got these bad boys on. Nice. So that frame that you're got coming, that's just going to replace your current frame, right? That one back in there. There we go. I got room for this one. Frame, I've actually got more flying Rampage from Broccoli. Rampage shirt from Broccoli. Oh, you got it from Broccoli. Oh, nice. And a 5-inch. Nice, see. So you're going right from a whoop to a 5-inch. That is a big jump. You're going to notice a ton more power. Ton more power. Awesome, man. What motors are you going to be putting on that 5-inch? Alright, perfect. Last motor set up here. We are gonna move up. Let's move these motor wires over. Perfect. 2207, nice. Shoot. What KV are you going with? Yeah, definitely take it slow when you get it built, man. By all means. Gets out of control very, very quick. So it's awesome to hear though that you are stepping up to a 5-inch. I didn't fly my first 5-inch for almost a year. I ended up flying tiny whoops for probably about 6 to 7 months. I didn't want to fly a larger drone until I was really, really confident in my flying ability. Then even though after I started flying 5-inch, then I started still crashing, so it doesn't matter. You're going to crash regardless, whatever drone you fly. Well, at least I would. And I moved up to 2.5, 3-inch, and then from there I finally moved up to a 5-inch quad. So I just did a little slow progression. 2207 are great motors, so what KV are you going to be getting for those? Straight to the 5-inch from your first quad. Wow. What was your first setup flying, Brian? Be very interesting too. OG Dr. Love, what's up, brother? Nice. What 5-inch did you get? Motor wire here. It's super awesome. I remember getting my first 5-inch. Super excited. And then I broke it. And then had to repair it. Then I was super excited again. I mean, everybody has been in it. It is a cycle. You build it, fly it, crash it, repair it, build it, fly it, crash it, repair it. It's a cycle. It's never ending. One problem child. She just doesn't want to go on. She's on now. There we go, perfect. Let's see, what did Fly Brian say here? Inch of the frame still laying around somewhere. You gotta build it back up, Flying Brian. Make a badass 5-inch out of it. Probably a super beefy, heavy frame, I could imagine, though, for me to use when building the 5-inch CFPV. It really just depends on your price point. A really good price point is the Mamba stacks. The F4s are really good. I think you can get those for like $50, $56 with a ESC combo. Diatone Roma 6S, nice. Nice, yeah, 5-inch is definitely awesome, man. You're gonna love it. Hip a 215 clone frame, 2700 kV motors, nice. So I'm guessing you're running 400 or 4S with those 2700 kV motors? That thing must have been peppy. Yeah, 5-inch racing is expensive. I mean, it's not super crazy. The expensive thing is really batteries. If you go to a really solid frame, the Switchback Pros are really solid frames. I really haven't spent much money at all in frames. It's more of just been motors and batteries, just destroying batteries and such. But other than that, though, the frames are solid. You usually don't break them. That's what I'm building this Freedom Spec series on. So let's go ahead, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and attach the ESC cables. And we are going to go ahead. I'm not going to make these long at all, too. I only make these like an inch or two. And then I end up attaching them right to the back. So we're going to do the same thing. We're only going to make them about an inch, 2 inches. There we go. 5 to 6S kV for your 5-inch. It'd be like 1950. I mean, if you want to go a little lower, you can go down to the 1700 kVs, which would probably be a good selection. I know the T-Motor V-Lox series, I think they have a 1750 kV series motor. That would be great for 6S. And then if you even put it on 5S, it'd be really tame. And then eventually you can move up to 6S, which is what I would recommend, because 6S batteries are also way more expensive than 5S batteries. So I mean, you can usually find, well, I mean, just depends on if you can find them in sales and such like that. So let's get this guy loaded up with solder. Yeah, Freedom Spec is awesome. It's nice because you're not flying super fast. It's really technical, and the crashes too. If you usually crash, you're crashing really slow. So I mean, you're not really crashing at full speed, breaking stuff. So intention of racing, but I discovered freestyle with no rules after I went to 2018. Yeah, racing's a blast. Do you race? Have you tried racing at all, Flying Brian? I mean, all I did was freestyle straight for 3 years. And then I got into racing about 5.5, 6 months ago. And now I've just been going into it hard. I really enjoy it. Nice. What did you go with, the 1100s or the 1300s? I know they just came back in stock in a lot of places. I know pizza or Speedy pizza batters will be coming back out here shortly by the end of this month. Yeah, it stinks. They are growing, OG Dr. Love. They are really growing, so hopefully they will have more events and stuff like that, other places and such. So, hopefully. Completely understand. I do really enjoy my freestyle too as well, so I completely understand where you're coming from. A good freestyle is really, really addictive. There we go. Got a good amount of solder in there. 1100's nice. Good size. Good size. When I do my XT60s, I usually bring it up to about 350, 360, 370. Really just depends on the size. This is a 12 gauge wire, so I will probably go up to 370 degrees Celsius for this, for the XT60s. There we go. That is the XT60 plug. Let's go ahead and we're going to throw on the cap. $380 and $400. I change it up a little bit for everything. It might not really be necessary, but Windows wants to try to do an update. Windows always wants to try to do an update. Okay. Cap ESC done. Let's go ahead and let's start working on wiring up the flight controller, which we really don't have much for that. Really just got the VTX to throw on there and the RX and the cam, so 3 quick things to pop on there, and that's really the end of the Freedom Spec build. myself doing more repairs in freestyle than I did with racing. Yeah, definitely, Frying Brian. Big time, doing a lot more repairs flying freestyle. Nice part about freestyle, though, is there's a lot of less coordinated movements. I mean, it's just like it says, it's free. So. Soldering. Oh, I love soldering. Done a lot of soldering. Built probably close to about 35 to 45 quads. Can't even remember. But soldering is very enjoyable. Go ahead and throw that on there. Just for that. Video, smart audio. Just for that. And then we're gonna grab the RF. Put it over here. Perfect. I flew like 10 times. Yeah, you do a lot of repairs on whoops too, I could imagine. I've done a lot of them. It'd be Celsius, CFPV. What's up, Happy FPV? Orca fam, what's up, brother? Yeah, you should be getting those soon. Should be getting those very, very soon. Go ahead, black, red. Black, yellow, and then we're gonna use. That goes for the camera. And then we are gonna use a different color for that. So let's use orange and that color. There we go. And we'll take white for red. Alright, perfect. There we go. Got all the colors laid out, got that all taken care of. All that fun stuff. Let's get this big old antenna off that. We're not going to be using that antenna. We're going to be using the micro antenna. I believe True RC makes that one. Pyro RC makes a version of it too as well, which I have a couple of those. Swapping frames, yeah. What do you mainly break? You just mainly break the ducts in the frames, right? OG Dr. Love? Last swoop I remember racing when I was, not racing, but last swoop I remember flying multiple years ago was the Red Inductrix. I think it was the Inductrix FPV. So that bad boy ripped. Alright, perfect. That's on there like that. Super, super simple. What I like to do too is I like to put a dab of hot glue on these connectors, just because when you crash and such like that, these things love to pop off. So I'm gonna go grab my hot glue gun real quick and put a dab on these. sorry about that. The stack that's in there is the Fox ear stack. It's the F722 Mini, and the Reaper 3 to 6, 60 amp. So it should be plenty enough to be able to handle these motors. It'll only be running on 3S2, so it's not going to really be pulling too much. They're 1950 or 1960 kV motors. We'll be running a 3S 2200 battery. Let's go ahead and get this finished up. Let's go ahead and start throwing the flight controller on there. Get that heating up here. Got that. Let's throw that back on there. It's just a plug and play, which is super simple from the flight controller up, or the ESC up to the flight controller. It's super, super simple. But it's brittle. So what frame do you go to then? If that frame is brittle, I mean, and it flies great, so that's still the frame. That's the frame of your choice still. Takes 5 volts, so I gotta make sure that I put it up to the right. Stick with the cockroach overall. There's a new one that's gonna be coming out with Newbie Drone, hopefully here shortly. I imagine they're all probably in the process of making some new ones coming around the corner. That's why I really haven't jumped on it. Super happy it's the weekend. Relaxed a little bit. I think I'm gonna go tomorrow to pick up a Hero 8 or Hero 6. And then I'll probably do some flying, some practice tomorrow. I may get this drone up in the air tomorrow and do some flying practice with this guy, this bad boy. Come on, get in there. about an inch and a half of cable here, just because the VTX is going to sit really, really close, so I don't need much cable at all. Since they're all through-hole designed for solder, all I'm going to end up doing is just stripping a little bit of each of these, and then I can solder directly into the board, which makes it a million times easier. I don't have to wet any of these connections. I can just go right in the board and solder directly to it. So there we go. Let's go ahead and throw this in there. 5 volts. Let's start with that. Biggest thing too to make sure when you're hooking up your TVS Nano, after you're done hooking it up, to make sure that you unlock your TVS Nano or any of your TVS products, or else you won't be able to use smart audio or even change it manually on the device to get higher outputs. Alright, perfect, that's on there. Let's go ahead, now we're going to throw on the receiver wires. Go ahead and throw it on this side, transmit 1. I'm going to go ahead and throw it on RX1 or UR1. Around it. There we go. You're jumping right to 6S. See, why are you jumping right to 6S? Duck raves, frame flies the best. It's crazy that a frame can change the cornering and have that much drastic effects on the flying ability. It's crazy they can't come to something that has kind of like an in-between where it's a good flyer, corners well, and is durable as well. Same thing with the RX. I'm also going to cut the wire short because it's going to be soldered right to the board, or soldered only about an inch or 2 of wiring. That's all I'm going to need for the build. So. flies are coming back here and everything now. That time of the year. Start getting all the fruit flies, the gnats. Sorry, I got a little bit quiet there. Getting this nano rack soldered up. That is now just the camera left to go. So we got 5 volts, plus ground, terminal one. Makes it really easy too when all the components are through hole. You can just solder it right onto the board, makes it super quick, super convenient. Don't gotta get anything wet. Makes it super, super convenient. Okay, perfect. Came first. Didn't strip it enough. Not fitting in the hole. I am an AZ. OG Love, I am an AZ. So I just moved out here about 6 months ago. I was in Tennessee before that for a couple of years. That's it. That's the flight controller all built up. Everything now Just gotta button everything up. We'll throw the camera into the canopy. And that's really it. That's the full build. That didn't even take too long at all. What time is it? 6:12. Hour and 12 minutes. Knock that out. Not bad at all. Let's go ahead and throw this camera on there. Super excited. I'll probably take this thing out probably tomorrow, actually. See how it feels. Tuning it, I imagine, should be rather easy just because it is a 3S. You really don't have to mess with the PIDs as much. Oops, wrong. PIDs don't go as crazy, really. Oops, wrong one. Let's go with the smaller one. There we go. Much shorter. And the question is, though, is it going to reach the screw holes? Let's see. Should. There we go. There we go. I think for this one, I am running a fixed 45-degree angle on this one. What's up, Master Roshi? How you doing, brother? I'm working on a Freedom Spec build. We have a race in 2 weeks. So what it is a 3S 2207 1960 kV motors, and everybody runs the same equipment. So it should be really interesting. It's going to level the playing field. Perfect. And what I'm doing is I am now just tidying up my flight controller. Just got that finished up here. Oopsie. There you go. There we go. Put that bad out there. And now let's get that hot glue gun plugged back in there. I was not at Whooptopia. That's going to come out there. Perfect. These posts in there. These cables. Yeah, everything's really just the cleanup now. Drone's pretty much, I mean, everything's soldered. For that aspect, that's done. Anybody got any special plans for flying this weekend?
Mission 41B, the first flight of the orbital Discovery, and the shuttle has cleared the tower. Discovery's 4 computers now have primary control of critical vehicle functions.
Like I was saying before, what I like to do is put a little bit of hot glue right on the top and bottom connectors for the ESC and flight controller. This kind of helps to make sure in flights and stuff like that that you're not hopefully just popping that thing out and coming loose on you. Oh, perfect. Let's go do that there. They're interfering a little bit with the standoff post the actual XT60 cables. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move them over a little bit, just to give me a little more clearance. Perfect. Just a little bit. There we go. Normal. Let's go ahead and bring this plug down here, wrap it up, and I'll bring it in here. And what we'll end up doing is we'll just plug it in, and that's pretty much it. So we'll end up leaving it. Make sure it powers up. Hook up all the antennas. There's no smoke, no fire. Oh, here we go. Fingers crossed. Let's make sure. Hopefully, there's not going to be any fire. Everything should be hooked up correctly. But sometimes you just never know. Here we go. Smoke stopper, hopefully that would help if in the event of it being shorted out somewhere. There we go. Everything is good to go. Everything powered up. VTX is powered up. RX is powered up. We just got to bind it, configure it, and set it up. So that is pretty much it. Just powered it up CFPV. That is pretty much it, brother. Everything is all good to go. I'm not going to bore you guys with just the button and cleanup. But that was just it. That was my Freedom Spec build. Like I said, my whole build platform was on the 533 switchback frame. It had the heads up 533 motors, 2207 1960 kV, and I paired that with the Foxer stack combo with the 60 amp 20x20 and the 722 mini flight controller. as well as I put the Foxeer I put the Foxeer Nano version 5 on here, and then I paired it up with the TBS Crossfire and TBS VTX version 1.1. Other than that, I'm going to be running the 2200 30C 3S battery for the Freedom Spec. And that is the full layout and full build up for my Freedom Spec Racer. Hope you guys enjoyed. I will be posting flight videos and such like that when I actually go to the Freedom Spec video, or go to the Freedom Spec race. But other than that, that's it. Anybody has any questions, feel free to drop them. I'll stay on for a couple more minutes and I'm going to jump off here. I'll probably go on a bike ride with my family and go on to my weekend. I'll probably tune this on Saturday or Sunday. Really just depends on when I have time. End up wrapping that around there, and then the VTX and RX are all just going to fall suit. I have a print for the VTX so that it will lay nice and flat. The antenna will be kind of protected in the back there, and then the RX and such like that will just be sitting up on the top. So if nobody else has any questions, you guys have a great weekend. Thank you guys for stopping by. Hope you guys enjoyed. Catch you guys next time.